This is Brad Jones, part 2, my real life story. So anyways, I've showed so far in the other segment, I showed legal documentation of my father being sued publicly for overprescribing drugs. He was a psychiatrist that specialized in child psychiatry. I'll get into that a little later. And he was a pedophile as well. So I got into that a little bit. I showed you the documentation that he was deliberately overprescribing me drugs so he could molest me. And this is another document that I didn't show regarding him doping people up and molesting them. You know, I don't know. I kind of can almost know how those kids felt that were doped up by Dahmer and were getting doped up by him and molested and murdered. That horrible feeling. So anyways, this one is talking about our housekeeper. This is another legal document. If you can see the notes right here, I mean the numbers, you can tell this is a legal document. And I'll show you this certified copy. I obtained this from the court. Okay, I'm going to read it to you because I can't show it to the camera and read it at the same time. You didn't object to a part-time housekeeper? No, but I didn't object to Miss Marsh either. So this was our housekeeper. After this, Miss Marsh decamped from the premises in a more or less catatonic state. Were there other new babysitters or housekeepers? See, he doped up, and who can even guess what he did to the housekeeper? Not just me. So I'll talk about other innocent people involved too. This is another shot of my pedophile psychiatric adoptive father, and then I'm here, right here. This is me at my birthday, and this is when, right around the time I'm getting molested. If you look at my face, you can see that I'm not too happy on my birthday. So, I'll talk about my sexual abuse, and I'll show the actual documents of the sexual abuse, legal documents. Okay, so this is one of the openers here. You can see the numbers. I can't. You can pause it on your thing if you want to pause it and read it. But anyways, this is them asking my father. So about 4 years ago, you ceased sleeping together. Is that correct? 4 or 5 years ago. Was there any specific reason for that? As I recall, one night we were in bed and Vilma, my mom, wanted to have sexual relations. And I told her I didn't, and what's more, I didn't know when I was going to want to. So, he liked fucking me more than my mom, my adoptive mom. He liked fucking kids more. He was a total fucking pedophile. And he was bisexual. He molested a little girl that lived down the street. And I have no idea how many other people, and I'll talk about that other stuff a little more in detail. So, what I was leading up to there is This is my mom talking on the legal document, and she basically divorced him because I was getting molested, and it was her attempt to try and stop it, and she was getting abused as well, too. But, did you ever accuse Elwood of homosexual activities? Answer: I have said that I didn't want, you can probably see this, that I didn't want Elwood to sleep with his son instead of me, which is what he had started to do. And then here she says, please don't sleep with Bradley. That's what she said to him. That's why she filed the divorce. This is another document that's along the same vein as I did not want Elwood to sleep with Bradley. Well, that would certainly infer with what you meant. Right now, I think that Bradley stays and sleeps with Elwood at the apartment. Then later on it goes to say that I in fact said that Elwood was sleeping with me at the apartment, that he was molesting me at the apartment. So, this whole time, I'm doped up on his drugs. Here's another document that he overprescribed and had a patient on drugs, and then I've talked about that, but he doped me up and molested me. And this is the picture of a perfect pedophile. First of all, I'll show you the physical one, but I'm going to show you the psychological one of the perfect pedophile. The perfect fucking picture. That's a perfect picture of a perfect pedophile, which was my adoptive father that sexually molested me. Another one I'm going to show you. This is bringing up so much stuff I'm getting confused. Okay, so this is the other picture of a perfect pedophile. Another legal document. Also, this shows that his molestations, his sexual abuse, doping me up. I wasn't alone. He was doping up other children too. And whatever. But this is what he said. I have had training in child psychiatry. I have worked with a consultant to the juvenile court. I have been a consultant to Orthopedic Hospital Department of Child Psychiatry. And I was acting director of the clinic of the Department of child psychiatry for 2 years. This is the adoptive father, the pedophile child molester that doped me up, that got a malpractice suit against him right here for overprescribing jobs. This guy is around other children. That's his specialty, see. That's what pedophiles do. They become a clown or whatever. He was a psychiatrist. And that's how he got around children, so he can molest them and get away with it. Because when you molest children and you're a doctor and you're a psychiatrist, they're not, and you work for the court, they're not going to believe the child, they're going to believe the doctor. And he worked for the court to testify in child abuse cases and all that stuff. So he could totally get away with molesting children. I mean, he had it down to a T. And he had the credentials and qualifications around him. And he was around children as a doctor. And I'll talk about some of the damage to other children that he was around that I have from legal documents on paper too as well. Okay, this is another part of his credentials. This is the perfect pedophile. I was acting director. You can freeze frame that and look at it for yourself. I was acting director at the Child Psychiatry Clinic at the University of Washington for 2 years as a part-time or half-time job. Then I started the private practice at the Blakely Clinic half-time. So see, he wasn't able to publicly molest them in some places, so he started his own private practice so he could really molest them. And it looks totally normal. A child going to see a child psychiatrist. I mean, the receptionist sees kids going to see a shrink, and his specialty is child psychiatry. That's pretty normal, and it's pretty horrible. So I wasn't just the only one. I tried to protect the other kids, but I couldn't.